Winning league titles was all the Sioux Falls Storm used to do until 2017 when the Arizona Rattlers came into the Premier Center and stunned the Storm in that year's United Bowl. After a loss at Iowa in last year's title game, the Storm hope the third time will be the charm when it comes to winning their 11th championship. To do it, they'd have to be the first team to beat Arizona all year, and there was a huge crowd, but Lorenzo Brown, as he told us at 6, might be playing in his last game. He's playing well. Touchdown to Damian Ford on the opening drive. Storm leads 7-0. However, a fumble would help Arizona rattle off 14 straight points. Jamal Miles giving the Rattlers their first lead on a tough 2-yard touchdown run, 14-7. As I said, Brown was playing well. He's almost playing like a guy who knows this might be his last game. 40 yards to Brandon Shepard. We're all square at 14 after one quarter. In the second quarter, Storm still playing from behind. It's Brown doing it with his legs. 6-yard touchdown run, 31-28. Arizona leads at the break. Storm are going to have to get a stop if they're going to get back in this game, and didn't look like that was going to happen. Drew Powell to Miles for a score. It's 38-28, but every time Arizona scores, Sioux Falls answers. That's Brown to Kent Shelby, and the Storm are within 3. Now on fourth down, here's the big stop. They get an incomplete at the goal line. Turnover on downs. That gives Sioux Falls a chance to take their first lead since the first quarter. Kalen Campbell obliges. 2-yard touchdown run. Sioux Falls on top. And they are still on top. This game late in the fourth quarter. It's 49-45 Sioux Falls. About 9 minutes to play. This would be a stunner. Arizona hasn't lost all year. They dominated the Storm in 2 regular season meetings. But Lorenzo Brown is playing possessed, and the Storm have a chance for the 3rd straight year. We'll see if they can finally get it done and win their 11th championship. We'll update you on social media and, again, have more highlights tomorrow on KDLT News. In the Canadian Football League last night, former South Dakota Coyote Chris Strevler didn't have quite as big a role in Winnipeg's victory as he did 1 week ago, but still had a 23-yard touchdown run during the Blue Bombers' 47-21 win at Toronto. All told, Strevler passing for 30 yards and running for 37 in relief duty. And South Dakota State alum Jake Winicky was in action today from Montreal. He caught 2 passes for 22 yards, including his 2nd career touchdown right there in the Alouettes' 36-19 win over Ottawa. Had to get that last little replay in there. Well, coming into the second half of the Major League Baseball season, the Cleveland Indians were becoming a trendy pick to overtake the Minnesota Twins in the AL Central after winning 6 straight to close within 5.5 games of first place. Last night, Minnesota reminded everyone, though, just why they've been in first place virtually the whole year by rallying to beat the Indians late 5-3. Game 2 of the series this evening, Max Kepler had homered in his last 3 straight at-bats against starting pitcher Trevor Bauer, and we'll make it 4. Kepler makes it 1-0 Twins. A little bit later, he's up again. It's 2-0. It's 3-0. I don't know what Trevor Bauer did to Max Kepler, but he's paying for it. That's 5 straight at-bats against Bauer and 5 home runs for Kepler. And the Twins get insurance in the 8th. Jake Cave with a rip down the right field line. 2-run score. Yeah, Cleveland, where's your whole going to catch the Twins thing? Not this series. They lose 6-2. Twins can get the sweep tomorrow. Back in Sioux Falls, the Canaries trying to even up the series with Chicago after last night's 4-3 loss. We were scoreless into the 6th, and that was a slugfest as Chicago's Trey Vavra takes one deep to left and gone, breaking a scoreless deadlock, and the Dogs weren't done from there. They would add one more run. It's 2-0 Chicago. However, the Birds come back in the 6th. Kevin Taylor off former Chicago Cub All-Star Carlos Zambrano. It's a 3-run homer. And the Canaries lead 3-2. All they got to do is close it out in the 9th. But for the 2nd straight night, that gets away from them. Tony Rosselli, opposite field, just gets it out into the party deck, and we're all tied up at 3 apiece. And Chicago would take it up one more notch as Keon Barnum finds the left field corner to drive in a run with an RBI double. Chicago goes on top 4-3. And for the 2nd straight night, that is the final score. The Birds will try to avoid the sweep tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Over at Sherman Park, semifinals of the state softball tournament, an all-Sioux Falls affair. The Fury against the Steel, top 1. Elizabeth Tofflin with a smash to center. The Steel's Bergen Lindner makes a great grab to retire the side. And the Steel Bats come alive in the 2nd inning. USD commit Macy Schroedermeyer, strong, long, and plenty on. Solo shot makes it 2-0, and they were far from done. A little bit later in the inning, the bases are loaded for Shayla running. She punches one the other way. 2 runs will come on in to score as the Steel would bat around up 5-0. They get back to Schroedermeyer, who gets her 2nd hit of the inning. It's an RBI double. She's halfway to the cycle. They score 6 in that frame, led 7-0, and go on to get the win comfortably 12-0. They'll play for the championship in the 18U division tomorrow. Day 2 of the South Dakota Match Play Golf Championships will see the men's field pared down to Sunday's Final Four, and the championship final set for the women's side. They had to dodge some early rain and lightning out in Brandon, but got everything in pretty much on time. Women's semifinals, we start with the first pair as USD standout Katie Bartlett of Pierre tries to sink a long birdie on hole number 5. She leaves it short, but still would win the hole and her semifinal over Sydney Weber 2-1. Let's move into the championship tomorrow. Who's she going to face? Well, U of Omaha player Samantha Langford going for a birdie putt uphill on number 9 to draw even with Maggie Murphy. The former Jackrabbit Murphy would try to win the hole as well, but she cannot quite do it. However, Langford would move on to get the victory 2-1. Actually, Murphy would move on to win 2-1. My mistake there. So it'll be Murphy and Bartlett tomorrow. Moving over to the men's quarterfinals. 4 groups in action. Chris Long putting from the fringe on hole number 7 for birdie. He comes up just short, and every shot in these matches count. I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. Long would go the distance, though. He won that hole, wins 1 up. We have highlights from all 4 matches on our website, KDLT.com. That Storm game right now, still in the 4th quarter, still 49-45. We will update you again, have plenty of highlights, hopefully talk to the team tomorrow when they get back in. Expect to get back in around noon, regardless of how it goes tonight. We're back in 1 moment.